The Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth is an official state agency that tracks how many students depend on free or reduced price lunches. According to them, nearly half of Tennessee children enrolled in grade school received this option in 2017. In Knox County, over 40% of students signed up for the free and reduced price lunch program that same year. But when the school year ends, that leaves many kids without at least one meal a day, maybe even two in the summer. That's why each January, the Tennessee Department of Human Services partners with their summer food service program. Sky Arnold with the state agency joins us now. Sky, tell us a little bit about this, because we think of the free and reduced lunches during the school year, but then maybe we forget a little bit when summertime rolls around.
And really, that's where the summer food service program comes in. It kind of fills the nutrition gap, if you will, during those summer months when kids aren't in school getting the meals they get there. They get it through the program. And basically, it works a little bit something like this. We have sponsoring organizations across the state that we partner with to help provide the meals. They sort of set up the way the meals are provided, usually lunch or breakfast or both. And we reimburse them for the cost of the meals that they provide. Now, there are a variety of different types of entities that can be a sponsoring organization, and ultimately, we're really trying to get more people involved with this program. The more, the merrier. We served a little more than 3 million meals last year alone, and we'd love to have even more this year. So a sponsoring organization can be a church, it can be a school, or it can be a nonprofit organization with a history of service in that community.
People really that just want to help out as much as they can. I mean, when we think of kids and food, I think that's something, you know, folks in better positions might take for granted. But there are kids out here who are not getting the nutrition they need come summertime.
Yeah, and that's, again, that's what this program is, why this program is so important. Studies have shown kids who are not eating nutritious meals in the summer don't do as well in school and have a variety of behavioral programs. So this goes beyond just feeding kids. This is taking care of kids.
Yeah, most definitely. And for you all as an organization here, how important are these sponsors who come in and help you all out?
Without the sponsors, the program doesn't happen. So, you know, again, as I mentioned, we need as many sponsors as possible. We're really getting out the word, if you will, right now to try to recruit more sponsors and even volunteers. Let's say you would just like to help out. We can help you with that. More information on that is obviously found on our website at tn.gov/human services. And this week we have an event to sort of give a little more information. If you're curious, if you're an organization, a group, a church, like to take part but don't know anything about it, tomorrow we're going to have our annual summer summit. That's going to be held in Nashville from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Tennessee State Guard building at 3401 Sitco Drive. You can see the information on your screen, and if you forget it, it's also on our website as well.
A very important program for the future of kids' health, especially those who need that help. Yeah. Sky, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. All right, thank you. So.